I punched myself in the face hard twice. He did the solo from Stairway to Heaven with a glue gun and a level. Nellie McClung, she fought to ensure a better standing of women in society. That's amazing. Like, for a girl? That's amazing.
When you grow up in a small town in Newfoundland, you see the people have a sense of humor about hard times.
Check.
I turned that into a career and hit the road.
Mr. Jonny Harris!
Now I'm on a mission to find the funny in the places you least expect it. Canada's struggling small towns. Towns that are against the ropes, but hanging in there. Still laughing in the face of adversity.
Welcome to Manitou, Manitoba!
Here we are in Manitou, Manitoba. Just west of Morden and Winkler. When I first heard that, I was like, Morden and Winkler, aren't those the two old guys on the Muppets sitting up in the balcony?
And just like the Muppets, Manitou sadly isn't on these days, which is too bad. Back in the day, this town was really moving. I mean, it was really going places, literally.
Of course, the start of things right here in Manitou didn't start right here in Manitou, did they? It was up the road a little bit, right?
Originally called Manitoba City, it was all set to be a big important stop on the new Cross-Canada Railway.
We all know that the railway took a sharp turn left and missed Manitoba City by a country mile. So you guys uprooted the businesses, houses, put them all on skids and towed them by horse. And I've heard incredible stories of families still inside the houses. Right? Like kids, make sure the paintings don't fall off the wall. And remember, don't use the toilet.
And it worked. Manitou went to the railroad and built a beautiful little town. But 100 years later, their future is more elusive than the railway ever was.
There's been a concern about, will Manitou become a ghost town? You know, over 100 years of history, is that gone? Is it out the door?
Richard Clausen took me for a tour, a walking tour around the town.
With the businesses that have been shutting down, change is inevitable. One of the difficulties living in Manitou is that we are close to Morden and Winkler.
Yeah.
They've got the bigger box stores.
That can suck the life out of a small town.
Yes.
Richard told me that the railway was going to close the line.
So a number of farmers got together. They created a cooperative in which they bought the line from the rail company.
Is it profitable?
We're not dead yet. You know, they're going to keep it going. They want to keep it going. And it's not just for themselves, it's also for the future.
Of course, anybody who's played Monopoly as a child knows you buy the railways. You buy the railways. You guys got that one. Now, if you buy 3 more, you'll be building hotels in Saskatchewan. I visited Betty Mueller at the log cabin. Yes. The log cabin, of course, was not built there. It was moved there. Like everything else in this town, you guys love moving your stuff. It's weird when you check into the hotel, right? It's like, well, what's my view? Well, today, you're overlooking the pool. So, Betty, what's holding the town of Manitou together now?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that people are here because they love the place.
Yeah.
And they're willing to put the work in. So many people here volunteer.
My method has always been to whine from the sidelines. I asked her, I said, is there like any literature or little something I could read up on the town, maybe a pamphlet or something, you know?
We have this wonderful history book that we developed several years ago.
Smokes. Careful what you wish for, folks. Careful what you wish for.
It's the history of Manitou and the area of Manitou, and you'll find almost everything you ever wanted to know in there.
It's enormous. 900 pages. 900 pages? I've seen Western Europe covered in less than that. They're trying to put the thing online, but they ran out of internet. The name, of course, is In Rhythm with Our Roots. I thought Roots was a weird choice for you guys, considering... I was doing some reading. I found a story that at first I found hard to believe. I found out that the two mild-mannered gentlemen who run the hardware store are Hall of Famers. Sports superstars. Walt for baseball, Lou for hockey.
Did get to play against Gordie Howe once.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Mr. Hockey.
Yeah.
And was he any good?
Yeah, pretty good.
Lou was offered to go try out for the Red Wings. So how come he didn't go try out?
Well, a lot of the fellows did go, but I think a lot of them didn't have something like this to keep them home. Like,
It's either the coolest or craziest thing I've ever heard. I said to Lou, I said, listen, could you imagine if you went down to Detroit way back then and bought a house for $5,000? Today, it could be worth almost $500. Lou felt a sense of civic duty, and he looked into the future and said, if I go to Detroit, what's Manitou going to do without me?
there isn't a day goes by we don't cut keys or put batteries in people's watches for them.
We have cut a lot of keys in all those years.
Yeah.
But these guys did a lot more than just cut keys.
Walt was the mayor for a long time on council, for like 37 years. Lou was on the hospital board, the school board, the cemetery committee. Basically, if you were born here or raised here or paid taxes here or died here, these guys helped you out and they changed your watch battery.
With the brothers retiring and no one to take over, this Hardware Hall of Fame is closing, putting a crucial question in everyone's mind.
Who's gonna cut the keys? I can't believe it, because I thought in Manitou, whenever somebody moved, they brought their house with them. Why would they need any?
In a place where buildings move, you'll find Manitou's roots in the most unlikely house of them all.
It's the very center of the community.
Manitou's beautiful opera house. This place is geothermal heating. The opera house in Sydney, Australia doesn't have geothermal heating. That old hole, right?
We've done Diary of Anne Frank, Shrek the Musical, Guys and Dolls, Footloose. We've got kids that fall asleep as their parents are up on stage, right? Some of them have gone away. They've come back to Manitou and they've got involved with the show. Of course, they bring back the talent.
Richard showed me this struggling town still has the get up and go that got up and moved so many years ago. And that gave me an idea.
I think, Richard, you should do a play about the moving of Manitoba City and how it became.
You know, that's in the works.
And me and Richard, we started spitballing some ideas. And for it to be moving production, it was sort of like wind its way down the road and you could sing and dance. It's gonna be an epic, it's gonna be an epic show. It's gonna be called Manitousical, the Moving Musical. Manitousical, the Moving Musical. Not bad, right? Pages. 900 pages? I've seen Western Europe covered in less than that. I guess it all depends on how many details you want to keep in the thing, right? Like, Europe, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand assassinated. Prelude to war. Manitou, 1914. Bert Smith collects eggs from hen house. Prelude to breakfast. As I discovered more and more that town was full of talent, I realized who I had to go talk to next. He's 11-time international yodeling champion. He's got somewhere around 300 songs. The living legend, the yodeling cowboy, Stu Clayton. Nice one, Stu. Brilliant. I did one really good yodel in my life.
You did?
But it was when I got hit with a really cold hockey ball in the crotch.
Well, you'd certainly hit the high note.
Stu's another character, a guy who he could have taken his talents elsewhere. He was offered a tour, and he had a young family here in Manitou, and he chose to stay. And also, part of the reason was he'd heard a lot of stories about, you know, he was wary of road life. Of course, we all know Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley.
So I thought it over for a long time. I think maybe it was 2 seconds, and possibly 3. I said no, because there was always smoking and drinking, drugs, and
Having meaningless trysts with women half their age in hotel rooms. It must be awful.
you don't sound too serious.
The farm and family were what Stu wanted, so that's what Stu did. He also became one of Manitou's biggest volunteers.
We were there, we were playing some guitar and yodeling. He took out a saw. I thought, this is taking a weird turn.
Despite staying, he still managed to become a champion yodeler and saw player.
He played Amazing Grace for me on the saw, and then he did the solo from Stairway to Heaven with a glue gun and a level. Very impressive, very impressive.
Best version of Amazing Grace I ever saw. It's not just homegrown talent, but stay-home talent that keeps this place on the move.
Anyway, I went back over to visit Richard again at the Opera House, again trying to weasel my way into the show.
While Manitou is losing young people to other opportunities, the summer play is actually one thing that draws them back.
Why are you saying this? I only wish to speak to her.
Jealous. I've been in 26 different productions here in the Manitou area.
While I was waiting for my audition, I got to talk to some of the kids who were involved here. I got to talk to Skye Thorleifson. He wants to become a filmmaker, director, a big Ingmar Bergman fan.
I play Yassir, who is an Egyptian aristocrat.
He says that he finds that he gets recognized around town now, which is always nice. I said to him, oh, buddy, I know exactly what that's like. I said, listen, back in Toronto at my grocery store, I get recognized. Now, I think it's because the cashier has a picture of me saying, don't accept personal checks from this man. I finally got my audition. Mr. Klassen, I'm doing a piece from In Rhythm with Our Roots.
That sounds great. I can handle that.
We are indebted to Mr. Lee for some very fine watercress, which he brought to our office on Friday last. It was taken from a spring on Mr. Lee's farm in the valley. He can always secure as much of the dainty relish as their wants require. Ah! Ah! And let's see.
Thank you. Give us a chance to kind of talk things over.
That's it. I'm staying at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning in this building. We are having an open casting call for Manitousical, the moving musical. There's so many Hall of Famers in this town. There must be a trick involved. They must have like a restaurant called the Hall of Fame or something like that, you know? Like anybody can go and be like, yeah, I'm in the Hall of Fame. And eating poutine. I went to visit the archery club. I got to talk to Clayton Sprung. The guy's 13 years old and he's a provincial champion. Holy mercy.
Though he's won provincials a bunch of times, a family vacation kept him out of the nationals last year.
Are you gonna go to the nationals this year?
No, actually we have a cattle show this weekend.
I was like, what, you're gonna miss the nationals for that? Are you mad about it?
No, I like cattle.
I'd be kicking and screaming. But, you know, this kid, he's so cool and confident. The nationals will always be there next year. I have to show my heifer. I'd make some more jokes about him, but I'm pretty sure he could hit a moving target, so, Will you show me how to shoot a bow and arrow?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Will you carry that one?
Yeah, sure.
Back is shot.
Clayton has the Manitou motto down pat. Stay home and pitch in, but keep your eye on the prize.
So you guys, what's all your guys' favorite target to shoot at?
Yellow.
You look, yeah, that's right. You want to get her right in the yellow. Some of the 3D targets we were shooting at were really cool. Is alligator or crocodile? I forget which one is indigenous to the prairies. When I tried my hand at shooting the bow and arrow, right at the hardest part, it's all shaking like that. I punched myself in the face. I punched myself in the face hard. twice. Oh, I did it again. And then then I was all cranky. I had a sore lip. Don't laugh. Really hurt myself.
You gotta pull it all the way back, like right till your.
But after a few lessons from the pros,
Hey, Sam.
I decided to downsize.
Town of Champions here. No pressure.
Perfect. That's exactly where the heart is in an alligator, whatever that was.
You moved and changed your name, which officially makes Manitou the first municipality to enter the witness relocation program. In fact, I'm told Manitou is a First Nation word for, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
That got me thinking about all these hidden heroes in one town. And then Wilma Wallcraft showed me the humble homestead of Manitou's biggest hero. And yes, this house was moved here from somewhere else.
We're in the log house, and Nellie lived in this house. She became known because of her interest in women's rights, her interest in temperance.
I guess she's Manitou's claim to fame then, Nellie.
Definitely.
Nellie McClung is one of your town's first champions.
Manitoba women got the right to vote, first of all, partly thanks to her.
I can't imagine the adversity that she would have faced, the gender discrimination. One of the greatest feminists in the world, and she managed to write 16 books. She went to the Canadian Supreme Court to ensure that legally women were also defined by the word persons. They rejected her. She went to the Supreme Court in England.
They said that she could just hold you in the palm of her hand.
She went to the Supreme Court in England, and she won. That's amazing. Like, for a girl, that's amazing. I'm trying, come on, give me a joke. Give me a joke, give me a joke.
Squaring off with Wilma, I knew you don't get to be a town of champions without fighting for it.
Nice pitch. Oh, that was inside, though. If you want anything in a small town, people have to step up. Like our beautiful ball diamond, people stepped up.
If there's anyone who can take a joke, it's the Manitou Ladies Beer League players.
The Manitou Mood Swingers, love that name, and Babes with Balls, also, very good name, very good name.
It was too high.
Pretty much all I know about baseball stuff I've learned from movie quotes, right? Of course, we got Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And that's what happened here in Manitou. The farmers and the fundraisers built the ball diamond we were at, and people did come. All right, ladies, you ready for this?
Bring it on. Show us what you got.
Your mascara runs better than you. There's definitely something going on with these ladies.
Oh!
And of course, the quote from League of Their Own, there's no crying in baseball.
Everyone move in, it's a no-hitter.
Oh, don't move in! Don't move the infield in. I was not crying, that was ragweed. That was ragweed, girls. Oh. I keep wondering, how come so many talented people in Manitou choose to stay here? And then I had an epiphany. I realized that's a stupid question to ask. All that matters is that they did. And the town benefited from it. Now it's going into the next generation. And now you can see it already. I did chip my tooth, but I got the crocodile in the end. I got him. Right in the arse. It was an arse shot.
If I've learned anything from Manitou, it's that the heart of the town's survival is the power of its story.
No! You better take two!
All you can do is show up, do your best, and good Lord willing, things will get better from here on in.
Finally, it's showtime. The town's arrived, the thespians are ready, and I'm wearing a costume made for someone smaller than me.
I auditioned literally for Spear Carrier number 2. And I did not get the part.
You know those who conspire against us, and yet you allow them access to my throne.
I did still end up getting a very vital part. I got fanner number 2. As Canadians, we're naive. We don't know how hot it was in Egypt. So it's very important. My fanning too was, you know, how does the saying go? There's no small parts, just ones. I have discovered that Manitou is a town of champions. Everywhere else I go in the country, I'm gonna tell them about Manitou, what a great town it is. I'm gonna tell them where you are, tell them that they should come visit. Just do me a favor, don't move the town again. I'll look like an idiot, I'll look like an idiot. You know, just before I came over here, my mom gave me a call for the first time since I got to Manitou, and she said, how's it going out there? I said, oh, Mom, you know, it's a pretty typical prairie town. I struck out with the ladies, fanned a pharaoh, yodeled with a yodeler, and basically just hang out with Hall of Famers. She said, what are you talking about? I said, Mom, I'm talking about Manitou, Manitoba. Thanks so much, everybody. You've been great.
It's a celebration of Manitou.
He understood what we were all about. We're so proud of our town and proud of everybody that's here.
That was fantastic.
Very talented. He moves around really well.
It was very good.
Enjoyed it very much. Hit home on all the points he made.
Bow and arrow's not really working for him.
Our own hometown presented to us in such a positive way.
Oh, my cheeks just hurt. I laughed so hard.
And thank you for helping us to see it.